This sign means A. Bicycle crossing. B. Stop. C. Fines double in a work zone. D. Stop ahead. A. Bicycle crossing. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign alerts drivers to potential bicycle cross traffic. When driving on wet pavement, it's important to remember A. That pavement is especially slippery right after it starts to rain. B. That wet roads can cause hydroplaning. C. To give yourself additional space when coming to a stop. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Wet roadway surfaces can be dangerously slick, especially immediately following a rainfall. When you are driving on wet roads, your vehicle is traveling on a thin layer of oil, dirt, and water. Slow down when there is heavy rain, standing water, or slush on the road to reduce the risk of your wheels losing traction on the slick surface. Which of the following are used on some highways to direct drivers into the proper lanes for turning? A. Flashing red lights. B. Flashing yellow lights. C. White lines on the side of the road. D. White arrows in the middle of the lanes. D. White arrows in the middle of the lanes. Arrows may be used to indicate which lanes should be used for specific purposes, such as driving straight or making a turn. A driver entering interstate traffic from an entrance or acceleration ramp. A. Should yield to drivers already on the interstate. B. Has the right of way. C. May force their way into traffic. D. Can assume that other drivers will change lanes to make room. A. Should yield to drivers already on the interstate. If you are on an entrance or acceleration ramp and are entering interstate traffic, you should yield to drivers already on the interstate highway. Merge safely into traffic when you are able to do so.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
Who must yield when a driver is turning and a pedestrian is crossing without a traffic light? A. Whoever started moving last. B. The driver. C. Whoever is slower. D. The pedestrian. B. The driver. Drivers must yield to pedestrians when they are crossing at any intersection without a traffic light, whether or not there is a crosswalk. If you reach an intersection where you wish to turn but you are not in the proper lane, you should A. Quickly cut across traffic to make your turn. B. Turn on your blinker and make the turn from your current lane. C. Drive to the next intersection and make your turn then. D. Safely change lanes then put your vehicle in reverse to go back to the intersection. C. Drive to the next intersection and make your turn then. Never make last-minute turns. If you reach an intersection where you wish to turn but you are not in the proper lane to make the turn, drive to the next intersection and then make the turn from the proper lane. A "no standing" sign at a certain location means A. You may never stop your vehicle there. B. You may park there if the driver remains in the vehicle. C. You may stop temporarily only to pick up or discharge passengers. D. You may stop to load or unload merchandise. C. You may stop temporarily only to pick up or discharge passengers. A "no standing" Sign means that you may only make a temporary stop to load or discharge passengers. A driver should be extra alert to motorcyclists, bicyclists, and pedestrians because a. They're difficult to see in traffic. b. They obey different traffic laws than larger motor vehicles. c. They always have the right of way. d. They don't have rear-view mirrors. Regulatory signs. A. Are placed in every location where there is a present danger. b. Indicate what a driver must or must not do. c. Are diamond-shaped and yellow or green. d. May warn drivers that they are approaching a school zone. b. Indicate what a driver must or must not do. Regulatory signs are often rectangular and white with black markings and are used to indicate what things a driver must or must not do in a designated area. They may display speed limits, prohibit passing or turning, or clarify any other driving regulation. A traffic light displaying a green arrow and a red light means that a. You may only drive straight ahead. b. You may drive only in the direction of the green arrow. c. You must wait for a solid green light to proceed in any direction. d. Vehicles moving in any direction must stop. b. You may drive only in the direction of the green arrow. If a green arrow is shown with a red light, you can only drive in the direction of the arrow and only if the intersection is clear. The best way to avoid hydroplaning is to a. Keep your tires properly maintained. b. Slow down when roads are wet or slushy. c. Watch out for standing water or puddles. d. All of the above. d. All of the above. When roads are wet, cars take a longer distance to stop and may skid on quick turns. Do not use cruise control when driving under wet or icy conditions. Reduce your speed and drive with caution. This sign means a. Watch for drunk drivers. b. Curves ahead. c. Slippery when wet. d. Apply your brakes quickly. c. Slippery when wet. This sign warns that the road is slippery when wet. This road sign means a. Road construction ahead. b. The road ahead curves left, then right. c. The road ahead curves right, then left. d. Steep grade ahead. c. The road ahead curves right, then left. This sign indicates that the road ahead curves to the right and then to the left. You should slow down to be able to negotiate these curves safely. Diagonal stripes sloping downward and to the right on a barricade or panel mean a. The driver should stop. b. The driver should bear to the right. c. The driver should bear to the left. d. The driver should drive in a straight line. b. The driver should bear to the right. The diagonal stripes on a barricade or vertical panel guide drivers in the correct direction. Stripes sloping downward and to the right mean drivers should bear to the right. Conversely, stripes sloping downward and to the left mean drivers should bear to the left. What does an orange-colored sign indicate? a. The start of a no-passing zone. b. A railroad crossing is ahead. c. A school zone is ahead. d. The presence of construction work. d. The presence of construction work. Construction, maintenance, and emergency operations signs are generally orange with black symbols. You may pass another vehicle? A. In a curve or on a hill because the chance is small that another vehicle is coming. B. By using the shoulder of the highway. C. If your lane is next to a solid yellow line and the passing lane is clear ahead. D. None of the above. D. None of the above. You may not pass another vehicle on a hill or in a curve because you cannot see oncoming traffic and may cause a collision. Never pass another vehicle by driving onto the shoulder of a highway. Passing another vehicle by driving over a solid yellow line is prohibited. This sign means A. T intersection. B. Lane shifting. C. Side road. D. Do not block intersection. A. T intersection. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers that they are approaching a T intersection and should prepare to turn either right or left. A regulatory sign containing a red circle with a slash through the middle indicates A. That drivers should come to a complete stop. B. That an action is forbidden. C. That some drivers should yield to other drivers. D. That drivers should drive under the speed limit. B. That an action is forbidden. Some regulatory signs prohibit certain actions. These signs are rectangular and white with red and black markings. A red circle and slash on top of a black symbol indicates that the specified action is forbidden. Under ideal weather and traffic conditions, keep a minimum following distance of A. 1 second. B. 2 seconds. C. 3 seconds. D. 4 seconds. C. 3 seconds. The more distance between your vehicle and others, the more time you have to react to the movements of other drivers. Keep a minimum following distance of 3 seconds under normal weather and traffic conditions. Increase your following distance under unusual weather or traffic conditions. What do large flashing arrow panels indicate? A. Drivers may stay in their current lane. B. There is something to look at in the direction of the arrow. C. Drivers should merge into the lane indicated by the arrow. D. Drivers should come to a complete stop. C. Drivers should merge into the lane indicated by the arrow. Large flashing or sequential arrow panels are used in construction areas where a lane is closed. Prepare to slow down and merge in the direction indicated by the arrow. What might happen when alcohol is combined with another drug? A. The effects of the alcohol and the drug may both be increased. B. Nothing will happen. C. The effects of the alcohol and the drug may both be reduced. D. The effects of only the alcohol may be reduced. A. The effects of the alcohol and the drug may both be increased. Consuming both alcohol and another drug may enhance the effects of both. For example, taking one drink when you are also using a cold remedy could affect you as if you have had several drinks. Always signal when A. Changing lanes. B. Pulling into or out of a parking space. C. Pulling into traffic from an alley or parking area. D. All of the above. You must stop for a school bus. A. That is parked on the shoulder of the road with no one in it. B. When it approaches you. even if its lights are not flashing. C. If you are both driving on a two-lane highway and its red lights are flashing. D. Whenever the driver waves at you. C. If you are both driving on a two-lane highway and its red lights are flashing. You must stop when approaching a school bus that is displaying flashing red lights while stopped to pick up or drop off children. On a two-lane road, traffic moving in both directions must stop and remain stopped as long as the red lights near the top of the bus are flashing and/or the stop arm on the left side of the bus is extended. As you near an intersection, the traffic light changes from green to yellow. Your best action is to A. Speed up to beat the red light. B. Apply the brakes sharply to stop. C. Be prepared to stop in the center of the intersection. D. Be prepared to stop before the intersection. D. Be prepared to stop before the intersection. A steady yellow traffic light indicates that the light will soon change to red. You should be prepared to stop for the red light, if it is safe to do so. A broken yellow line alongside a solid yellow line means A. Passing on the left is permitted from either direction. B. Passing is permitted from the lane next to the broken line. C. Passing is permitted from the lane next to the solid line. D. Passing is not allowed from either direction. B. Passing is permitted from the lane next to the broken line. A broken yellow line alongside a solid yellow line means that passing is allowed from the lane on the side next to the broken line.